Welcome to the Power of Oxygen First, where we scale your life first so your business can actually breathe. I'm your host, Dot Rock. Oxygen First means you protect your energy first. You build your life first. You take care of your nervous system first. Then you scale, because success without oxygen, that's just burnout with better branding. Around here, we talk about real leadership, how to hire your peanut butter instead of just doing it all yourself, how to fire with grace when something's expired, no more breadcrumbs, how to grow or go, and how to receive support without apologizing for it. This isn't hustle culture. It's sustainable success. It's leadership with oxygen. So let's pause and take a deep breath. Let's build something that actually feels like home. Well, hello, my podcast friends. Welcome back to the Power of Oxygen First. First of all, let me just say I apologize that I haven't been getting out my weekly episodes. Life, since Dominic broke his arm, tore the UCL off the bone, my life has been full, full to the capacity beyond capacity. And I feel like I'm being pushed in a way that I haven't been before because it's so frustrating. It's very similar to when he had his appendix situation where it took them like 3.5 weeks to take it out, and then he got multiple infections after. And he just kept getting sick that year. And that's before we moved up here to Fort Collins. So I just, I've been thinking a lot about messy action and how when I was going through the appendix apocalypse, my messy action was messier, and I actually moved forward a lot. Not that I haven't been moving forward this summer, but this summer I have been really diving deeply into delegation for me in a way that's very uncomfortable. I have done that in a way that isn't as strategic, but feels a lot more about the oxygen leaks. So let me tell you about a couple of those. Number one, I felt so overwhelmed by yard work, bugs in my house. I bought a new house a year ago and I've just had a big spider problem. I'm not even afraid of bugs, but 5 spiders in a day in my bedroom, right? Which is not a good feeling. So I got really clear when we were in Vail for Dominic's first surgery in June. I walked out of a grocery store one day and I just heard this: just release all that doesn't light you up. So that felt like a breath of fresh air that I could do that. Slash, it's really scary because it's not like my revenue has increased this summer very much to cover some of the things I just wanted off my plate. And one of those was finding a bug man. But I didn't even have the time and energy to find a bug man. My plate is full. Like, he has required a lot of care. Re-breaking his bones for the first surgery was a big deal because first surgery was 5 weeks after the incident. Blah, 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 blah. My point is, I knew I needed to delegate. And so I sat down and I journaled the way that I do. And what I realized was I could just ask the angels to take care of some of the things. Oops. That's my timer because we're about to go on a trip. I don't know if you heard that or not, but this is my phone telling me it is time for us to leave, which is so very exciting. I'll tell you that part next. As you can see, I've got a little tall tale sign of what we're doing right here. So I am recording this podcast in a very, very messy way. I had gotten to where I was writing my full podcast and then recording and ad-libbing in certain places. And now this one is full on, let's go, let's be messy, let's just be me, which feels actually like freedom. So I sat down and I was journaling, and the bugs were an issue, and sprinkler system was an issue because when I bought this house, it wasn't fully done. But it was a lot of manual turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. And we travel a lot for fun and for Dom sports and school and all things. So I wrote down that I wanted to delegate some of it and have my angel team take care of it, and that I would start taking some action towards some of the things. Number one, I hired the sprinkler people, which was amazing. And instead of canceling it because it's a big, expensive project, I went through with it, knowing it would give me a lot of freedom, which it really has been epically amazing. And it's Obi's dream come true to have all these sprinklers. Because, if you know my dog Obi, you know that sprinklers and water hoses and anything water lights up his little being in a way we should all experience joy. So I was in the middle of the sprinkler project, and I also felt like, hey, my car is really gross. And we're driving 3 hours up to surgery and to do follow up care weekly, if not more. And we're in the car a lot. And so, what would give me more energy and not make me feel drained? That was the question. And that was like a clean car. So I found somebody locally who came to my house and detailed my car, which was epically amazing. And my car is cleaner than any mom mobile should ever be. And now I think I will do that every 6 months or so. And I love to go to the car wash, people. I love to vacuum out my car weekly, but it just was so wonderful for them to just do a deep clean, just like my cleaners that come to my house. I really believe with all of my heart that when we scale our lives first, when we accept help in the home, especially as moms, when we stop doing it all, when we really receive some home care, scale our lives, maybe have some food prepped and delivered to us, grocery delivery, all of those things, they make it so that we solve problems quicker in our work life. We create faster and it's more efficient and it feels like oxygen. It feels like a breath of fresh air when we're doing these things. So I did that. I'm taking my own advice in ways that are uncomfortable because it's not just scaling in my business, it's a lot more about outsourcing the home. Because sometimes I feel like I am a stay at home mom that's an entrepreneur that has multiple businesses, that has a podcast, and is writing a book. And that's my next big set of news here. I signed a book deal. So after I delegated all that, I signed with a Monarch and Company publishing company in Canada to self-publish with their help. They will guide me through the process, a book. So you can look forward to that in early 2027. And I just want to publish it during a time when we can go to Canada and see a Blue Jays game. I want to take Dominic and, yes, my boyfriend. That's a little bit of a surprise. I haven't told you guys about that. Maybe someday. Um, I just want to go there and meet all these people that I've been working with, and I've been in a like the Monarch and Company has a marketing group that it's kind of a marketing group, business group. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. We do work sprints every Monday, which, as you know, Monday is my favorite day of the week because I love the fresh energy. It feels like oxygen pouring in, especially when I set myself up for success on Sundays. And often my Mondays are what I call Mondays like a Sunday, where I just pour into our life. But now I'm hiring a home manager to come Mondays and Fridays for 2 hours each day to reset the house, fold the laundry, do a couple of the loads that are like the odd loads, unload the dishwasher, load the dishwasher, just quick 2 hour reset and help me get the groceries. I'll have the groceries delivered during that time. They can put them away, like refill the spices, all those little things that take my time and energy. And even if I don't do them, I feel like I have a leak. So I've really been trying to stop all of these little leaks. And I felt strongly that day. I went to the grocery store in Vail after his first surgery, this call to doing that. And so I've been doing that. And along that note, we're going on a trip because of that little calling, because I started doing those little things. I started seeing ways that I could have the life that I'm craving. And one of the things I've really been craving, which this is going to sound strange that I crave it so much, but I crave work. I'm a mom a lot. As a single solo parent, I take care of everything for Dominic, right? He's 13 and a half. Now, my relevancy factor with him is waning. I'm not going to be that important soon, but I still take care of all the medical bills, all the accident claims, all the PT appointments, all of the doctor's follow ups, rearranging my schedule because of that, school supply shopping, school clothes shopping. Up, we outgrew our shoes, all of the things, plus all of the food a 13-year-old boy eats. It's a lot. So, more home help. My soul has been craving work. My soul has been craving work. And so I opened myself up to what would that look like? And I said, I want to go to a conference. But I can't because I have Dominic and I am a solo parent and I have nobody else taking him. We live in a new town. So how can I make this happen? I could ask for support. I could ask someone to stay with Dom. I could have my mom fly in. And like what was the best solution was that we take a trip to LA. Kathy Heller, the woman who is magical, who helped me start this podcast in the first place. I took her podcasting course after I took one of her other courses, after I listened to her podcast since 2018 or 2019. It was called Don't Keep Your Day Job. And that's what helped me leave my day job and start this business. And she's just helped me expand so much in my life. So all of a sudden, when I looked at it, she had a little conference, a 2-day conference. It'll be August 2nd and 3rd in LA. By the time you listen to this, that's where I will be. So I decided Dominic and I should go. It's his favorite baseball team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. We could also go to the Anaheim Angels Stadium. He's never been there. I have been there. But we're trying to see all the baseball parks, and it fit perfectly in our schedule to do this. It fit perfectly for us to go. We're going to see the Anaheim Angels on his half birthday on Friday. Then Saturday we see the Dodgers. Then Sunday and Monday I have my conference, and he and I have dinners planned, and he will stay at the cool hotel, hanging out by the pool, and just refreshing himself. He's still in recovery mode, so a lot of downtime for him as a projector is exactly what he needs. And I'm also filling up my cup. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but I think it was because I hadn't like cleared up a lot of my oxygen leaks of things that I needed to delegate, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just kind of leave you with a thought, because along this line, we really started to think about, what does little Dorothy, if you didn't know, my name is Dorothy, Dot is short for Dorothy. But I was recently prompted in a journal prompt through a meditation that I did with Gabby Bernstein to think about my inner child and the little Dorothy and what she was like and what she did for fun. I'll tell you one thing. I flash back to her, and she was bolder and braver than I am. And I think I'm pretty bold person. And she actually loved baseball more than anything. She thought she was going to be the first woman professional pitcher in Major League Baseball. And she loved going to baseball games. And that's where she found her peace. And she sat there with her best friend, Amy, and other friends, Jackie and Elizabeth and Wayne, and went to lots of games, but mostly with Amy and mostly with her mom. And I mean, this is in the era of Nolan Ryan and all these great baseball players. I went to Nolan Ryan and George Brett's last baseball games, and I experienced a lot of life going to baseball games. So it makes sense for Dominic and I to go really experience the joy, the crack of the bat, the sound the ball makes when it hits the glove, the music in the background, When I hear Centerfield by John Fogerty, I think that's how you say it. I don't even know how to say his last name. I think it's Fogerty. Um, I feel like I'm in heaven. And I just know that baseball gives me peace and joy, and it is miraculous to me. And I love sharing that with my son. I feel alive at baseball games, and it's a thing that makes it so that other things aren't as hard. So I think not having enough summer joy has actually been draining me. So here we are. We're going off. I can make every excuse in the world. My taxes aren't done. I'm behind on work. My house isn't perfectly organized and set up the way I hoped it would be 1 year after moving in. And you know what? Screw it. We're going to LA. We're going to go seek joy. We're going to go on an adventure, and it is going to fill us up because I truly believe with all my heart that when we fill our cups, we overflow, and we can share that with our clients and with the world, and in a way that raises the frequency of everyone. So we're off. I have 3 minutes until my timer goes off for us to be fully in the car. So I need to go load the luggage. And we are headed straight to the Denver airport. I got a flat tire last night, and my boyfriend came over and changed that. So I feel so blessed and so excited to be at this phase of life and headed to LA. So I will update you and let you know how the trip went. And I have a new quiz that's going to be available really soon. So hopefully by the next podcast that I record, you will get that. And it's going to be called the Oxygen Leak Quiz. So I'll help you find the leaks in your life and in your business. So I'm sending you light and love. And I hope you find some summer joy adventuring the way your little self would have loved most. This conversation reminded you that you don't have to do it all alone. That's your cue. Go download the free Support and Breathe Return on Investment Calculator at .rockconsulting.com. It's a quick, slightly eye-opening way to see how much time, money, and energy you could reclaim with the right support. And remember, support does not always mean hiring. Sometimes it's a simple ask. Sometimes it's a boundary. And sometimes it's finally letting someone be your peanut butter. If something in this episode resonated, please come tell me. I'm on Instagram at @_rock_, and I genuinely love hearing what lands for you so I can create more of them. And remember, your energy is your greatest asset. Protect it, invest in it, and always put on your oxygen mask first. I'll see you next week.